A very good morning to you, and I hope that you are doing well wherever you're watching us from. Welcome, and this is Money Monday, your go-to show for financial tips, great insights on how you can become financially independent. Whether you are a business person, a day-to-day person aspiring to become a great entrepreneur, or you are an investor and you're asking yourself what is needed when it comes to the world of investment. Well, you are in the right place. And today, being on a Monday, we'll dive into something that is really interesting, something that I am sure you are interested to learn, especially if you're aspiring to have a business or you are a business person. Today, talking about that is understanding customer behavior to drive long-term loyalty and retention. That is when it comes to the world of business. Did you know that when it comes to winning a new customer, it costs that is 5 times more than keeping an existing one? I don't know if you know that, or you're learning with me right now. And according to statistics, in today's competitive market, businesses that understand their customers' behavior are more likely to not only survive but thrive. Studies show that increasing customer behavior and retention rates are just by 5%. They can boost profits by 25% to 95%. Basically, kila mtu anataka business yake grow, including you. So, globally, 82% of companies agree that customer retention is cheaper than acquisition. Yet, many still spend the majority on their marketing, budgeting, rather than that is keeping the existing customers happy. So, as a business person, where do you fall? Do you satisfy the customers when you corner? What do the customers when you corner? What is their experience? What do they say about you? Are you working on chasing to get more customers? But according to statistics, you need to work on retaining and making the experience of the customers that you have better and better. And that's why today in studio I'm joined with a great guest full of experience and wisdom when it comes to the world of business and entrepreneurship. His name is Mr. Kimani. He deals with poultry equipment. Without further ado, help me welcome him to the show. A very good morning to you.
Morning, Angela.
How are you doing?
I'm delighted to be at Mizpah TV today.
And we are honored to have you.
Thank you. The pleasure is all mine.
Tafadhali, ambia watazamaji what you do when it comes to the world of entrepreneurship.
Okay. In the world of business, I deal with poultry equipments, and also ornamental birds. When it comes to what informed me to begin this kind of business was kind of a survey that we did, especially here in Nakuru, where we found out that there is great need for proteins, and eggs and chicken meat and bird's meat being one of such a source of proteins, informed that we need to multiply the number of birds that we have, the number of species and the diversity of species of birds that are edible, some that are only meant for beauty. We need to increase their number and meet the customer need, because why do we need equipments? Why do we have to use equipments instead of just allowing the birds to multiply naturally? The need for use of equipments, especially incubators, artificial incubators. They take a large number of eggs. They hatch within the specified incubation period depending on the species of the bird, and you are able to hatch higher numbers than if you allowed the birds to sit on the eggs themselves.
Okay,
you can also manage to hatch a diverse number of eggs at a time. You can hatch peacocks together with your chicken, together with other kind of birds, be it the guinea fowls and the like. And that's where now the use of equipments came in, so that you can multiply these birds within a shorter period of time and allow the birds to thrive. And when birds sit on their eggs, they deny themselves food, because during that particular time of sitting on the eggs, they become so much emaciated. I don't know whether you have ever lifted a chicken when it's sitting on its eggs. The other bed of the other belly of the chicken, first of all, loses feather so that it can sit nicely
because
on the
of
eggs.
time, just in one word, you deal with poultry equipment, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And that is incubators and the chicken brooders.
Okay.
Yes.
And today, in this great conversation that you have today, from your experience when it comes to the world of entrepreneurship and to those people who would love to dive into the world of entrepreneurship, why is it so important to understand that is the customer's behavior in today's market?
Actually, that's a good question, Angela. The first thing in business that you're supposed to monitor and take care of is the customer need. What do your customers need? What interests them? Why do they need these machines? Why do they need these equipments? So you must do a survey, do a customer survey, get to understand the needs of your customers. For example, here in Nakuru, and when I talk about poultry, if you go to Joro, go to Gilgil and Rongai, those are semi-arid areas. Crops do not do very well in those areas, but our birds do very well in those, because owing to the warm kind of weather that we experience in those particular areas. So understanding the customer need should be the starting point of any business, so that you know what is this that you need to produce, within which numbers, how do you reach the customers, what kind of product are you bringing to the customers, are they perishable goods, are they long-lasting goods, or they have long life. You understand the customer base, you understand the customer need, and then you innovatively meet that particular need.
Okay, so from what I'm getting, you're trying to say that whoever wants to start a business, you need to put yourself, or you need to put yourself in a position of being the customer so that you can understand them, right?
There you are. You first of all understand this particular need and how you need to meet it, and do it competitively, do it in a cost-effective manner, because much as the customers need proteins at that particular end, probably there are other sources of proteins. Maybe they're doing fish farming. Others rely on proteins that come from plants. You need to understand what other sources of proteins do they have, and you make your source better than all the other substitutes. How do you make it better? You must be innovative. You do your research and know how best to meet your customer need. Yes.
Okay, now let me ask, let's say for example there is a person anataka kwanza, let me give an example with a beauty parlor, and the many beauty parlors that you're going to compete with. So what then, because it feels like all of these beauty parlors, they're satisfying the customer's need.
Yes.
So what are you going to analyze when you want to start this business?
If you look at such a business as beauty parlor, where you're dealing with beauty products, artificial beauty and all that, because the natural beauty comes naturally. So what is this that you're doing to your customers? One, to make them appear beautiful, and how much time do they spend in your beauty parlor? Because let's say we have a line of beauty parlors. What makes your beauty parlor the beauty parlor of choice to your customers? First of all, you must understand what are the others doing, what are the other similar businesses doing that you need to do different. You must have a competitive edge. For example, time consumed in say salons, which also form part of beauty parlors. How much time do customers spend in your beauty parlor? That is very important. That's why you've seen you found many businesses now getting into or rather adopting technological advancements in their areas of establishment to make sure that they minimize the time spent by customers within their establishments. Time is a factor. What else do you do that gives you an extra edge? If they leave, for example, now if I come to the poultry business, I am doing egg incubators. Person A, B, C, and D are also doing the same. What do I need to do differently to remain in business and to attract more customers? So we look at how customer friendly and friendlier can we make our business. And that's why I come with the issue of time. Time is a great segment or rather factor in any kind of business. How much time does a customer spend with your product or at your workplace and the like, so that you lessen the amount of time they spend with you. How do you make your business more customer friendly than the others? In our case, we advanced from say wooden incubators that were rotting so fast, because egg incubators make use of water, and whenever wood comes into contact with water, it shortens the lifetime of that particular wood. Remember also, when we're dealing with the incubation, we are using moisture, artificial moisture, because we don't have a chicken or a bird that is here sitting on the eggs, because spiration from the bird helps in making the eggs softer, softening the eggshells and the like. This moisture, again, it's water and the air. When it comes into contact with the, say, iron, for example, if the hinges of the incubators are made of iron, they will definitely develop iron oxide and start rusting.
Meaning, basically, it's about making sure that you improve the experience of your customers each and every day, right? You
make your machines more customer friendly. Are they safe? Are they safe to use? Are they do you incur difficulties in understanding the machine? Initially, we used to set our machines with manuals. These days, we do not set machines with manuals. We set them with a clip of operating procedure. So we have a demo. We we improve from the written manual to a demo. A demonstration that shows how you operate that particular machine. That came after understanding that after we sent our machines to various customers, we got so many calls trying to explain, for the customers trying to get from us how to operate those particular machines. So we made it possible that they could understand that from a video clip, a demo in a video clip that would easily communicate to the customer.
Okay, allow me to cut you short. Let's be general, because probably not all businesses are doing pottery.
Yes.
A general tip to every business, or to that person mwenye anataka kuanza biashara and still, let's say, anataka kuingia in a business ya anataka kuingia, kuna mambo mengi. So what is a general tip you can tell them?
One, have a catchy name. Have a catchy business slogan. Make sure you market your produce. Don't just make your produce and lock yourselves in a room or in an establishment. Make sure you market your produce. And this time around and age, we use the social media platforms that are selling, that are meeting more customers than we used to do before, where we could organize forums where we could bring customers together, or rather would-be customers together. We train them. So it's good that you come with a catchy slogan, catchy name, then use that to market your produce. Make sure that your produce is available to your customers. Available in this case meaning especially on our social media platforms, make sure that you post what kind of business you're doing to your customers, so that somebody may even develop interest out of just seeing and meeting your photos, your images, your video clips on the social media platforms. Let your business communicate with would-be customers.
Allow me to ask, what is the relationship between marketing, having this catchy name, and the customer behavior?
Customers tend to stick to catchy phrases and catchy names. That's why you found, like, if you do a survey like the general social places that we have in Nakuru here, talk of hotels, joints, bars, restaurants. Those with the catchy names, especially catchy to the target population, will attract more customers, will have more customer traffic than businesses that have very flat names, or names that have people are very much used to their phrases, their slogans and all that. If you come with a catchy name, you'll have a competitive edge over and above the other businesses,
Okay.
the other similar businesses.
Okay, that's interesting, and that brings us to this point here, the buying patterns and the decision-making process. I would appreciate if you help us understand, and also my viewers, how do customers discover and that evaluate whether they're going to buy from you or not? How does it work?
Good question, Angela. When we sell our produce, when businesses deliver their services and goods to customers, do they follow up, or you just sell your product to your customers and then you don't do some follow up? Our business, for example, in our case, has developed a competitive edge through customer follow up.
Okay,
once we sell our produce, we do follow up and see, did our produce, did your machine meet the expectations for our customer? So customer follow-up is a great idea, is a great marketing tool. Plus, this develops referrals. When you keep visiting your customers to know how your produce did, how your machine behaved, how it met the customer needs and all that, you develop referrals because they will keep talking about you. They will keep talking about your produce. It's the same with, you talked of beauty parlors. When a customer visits a beauty parlor, the kind of output that you get from that particular Veda shop or whatever speaks a lot, gives information to those that have not visited your business. For example, talk about the salons that I talked about, especially for you ladies. Every lady will like, hey, na wewe uliwa hii nywele wapi? Hizi kucha ulitengenezewa wapi? Huko, do you spend a lot of time, or they take a whole day like I did in salon A, B, C, D? You know, they keep you the whole day in town. There is nothing else you can do. You can't even rush to suckle your baby. You know, time, what people talk about your business, word of mouth is the greatest kind of referral that you can ever get. Is the best kind of marketing tool that you can ever get.
And that comes from the great experience, right?
Definitely, definitely. So if you give your customers, concentrate with your customers. I've seen businesses whereby people do not concentrate on the customer who has already landed in their business. Once they have person A and C and D are lining up for the same service, anataka huyo mwenye ako nje aingie kwanza. Concentrate on the customer that you have. He or she is the next marketer, is your next marketer that you have already recruited. So spend your time, imprint the best on that particular customer. Let them go and sell your produce. Let their word of mouth speak volumes about your business. Yeah.
Because actually I think that is one of the mistakes that many business people make, ile ya focus on getting more customers
than satisfying the one that they already have gotten.
Okay, and because of time, briefly we have that is 2 minutes.
Yes.
What are the things that the business people can do to make sure that they improve the experience of the customers that they have to get more?
The main thing is customer feedback. What do customers say about your produce and your service? How best can you improve on that feedback? If it was negative, if they say, oh, no, this machine is taking a lot of time, I keep on adding water into this particular incubator, I wish they had a way of automating everything. Automation in our business, like in the pottery equipment, has given us a competitive edge. So understand, get enough time with the feedback that comes from your customer. Sit with your team, analyze that kind of feedback. It informs you on what extra to do as you improve on your and innovate on your produce. Yes.
Okay, and also talking of customer feedback, let's talk about the negative feedback, because sometimes so inaumiza sana wanabiashara wapendi sana the negative.
It does.
How are they supposed to handle the negative feedback from the customers?
They say the customer is always right.
Is that true?
Yes, but some customers are not just customers. Some are sent by your competitors so that they can demoralize you, so that they can send you out of market. So it is good to understand the source of information by your customer. Is it from him or her? Has he really spent time with your product? Has he gotten your service? Or he is reporting from a hearsay? You know, once you understand the source of information that you get as feedback from your customers, you are able to get enough time to understand the source of information and whether to really innovate or improve on your product, or the message was neither here nor there. It had nothing to do with your produce. It is a fictitious kind of statement meant to send you away out of business. So it's good to understand the source, but don't show the customer that you have known that.
You have known the source.
Yes, appreciate your customer. Oh, tulinunua mashini hapa kwako hata haikutoa vifaranga. Okay, what type was it? Can I have images of that particular product? Can we visit your farm and acknowledge the kind of machine and the kind of fault? You in several cases have been called to go and repair some of my incubators within the time of the warranties. When you go, you find that this customer exchanged some of the parts of that particular machine that you sold to him, and he's complaining that, oh, it keeps on going off. It doesn't ring the alarm when the temperatures and the moisture are out of spec. But when you do your investigation, maybe by the time you are selling to him or her, you had the initial photo. You find some changes here and there. You understand that there is a competitor that is intentionally whose intention is to damage your business.
That's interesting. So because of time, we're going for a short break.
All right.
And to our viewers, I believe when it comes to this amazing topic, that is understanding the customer behavior, so that you can drive that is long-term loyalty and retention, you are learning a lot because you have amazing guests. And we're talking that, number one, make sure that you get to understand your customers. What do they want? Is your business satisfying your customers? If not, I don't know what you're doing in the market. Well, we'll go for a short break. Make sure that you stay tuned and also get to talk to me on 0799 200 100. That is WhatsApp number, and still on social media handles. That is on Facebook and YouTube at Mizpah TV Kenya. Hashtag Nimani Monday. Tell me, what have you learned so far so good? We'll be right back after the break. And welcome back to this amazing show that is Money Monday, where you get to learn matters to do with finance and business. But today we're talking about something that is really interesting, that is something that is transformative when it comes to the world of business. That is understanding customer behavior so that we can drive a long-term loyalty and retention. And we're back with my guest. Welcome back, sir.
Thank you.
And I love the way you have helped us understand that is matters to do with customer behavior. We get to know what do our customers want. So there's something that is also something that I would love you to help us understand, and also from a perspective being a business person. Do you think are there mistakes that many businesses people make when it comes to that is dealing with customer and when it comes to learning their customers?
Yes, they do. We also do in our business. Sometimes a customer comes to you, he's coming with the feedback, some complaint, and instead of sitting together to understand the kind of complaint, sometimes we dismiss them. Maybe out of their approach, they come with a totally different approach. Somebody comes, he had stocked, he had packaged, he had loaded his incubator with so many eggs, but he did not check maybe the fertility of those eggs. He did not mind to know whether the ratio of cock to the female hens was right. And then they come to you and tell you, no, I did not hatch anything, your machine was wrong. Then you dismiss them. It's good to listen to them so that the kind of message they are going to give to other customers is friendlier, is one that is going to attract customers to your business, not one that will set them away. So in majority of the cases, customers, when they are raising complaints, they do not do it in a very friendly manner. Sometimes they come when they are very disappointed, they are very frustrated, they have incurred some losses, and they really don't even want to see you. So it is good that you understand your customer. It's good that sometimes you control your reactions as well, because your reactions could be a huge mistake to the customers. The reaction may set them away forever, and not just them, even would be other customers that have his friends or his relatives or his their colleagues at work and the likes.
Okay. Before we talk about something that sounds interesting. Let me start by asking, have you ever got yourself as a business person? You're dealing with this customer, alafu unaona kuna customer mwingine amekuja mwenye anaweza nunua na pesa ya juu sana, tuseme probably times 2. Then you stop attending to this customer, unaenda kwa huyu mwingine. Have you got yourself in that situation?
It happens. It happens, for example, when you're dealing with corporates, when you're dealing with maybe say corporate segments, maybe an institution, sometimes a machine that I sell at 45,000, the corporate world may even want to buy it at double the price.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's always good to understand the levels of your customers and clientele, so that the way you also handle them should be different. The way you handle a corporate customer should be totally different from how you handle those that you are used to.
But it doesn't sound fair, you know. Everyone deserves the quality.
Yes, everyone deserves the best, but it's you want the best too.
Yeah, you want the best.
You want to reap the best from your machine. So what you need to do is have your price range that is friendlier or friendly to both the customers, be it the corporate, be it the we call them the locals.
Even the services, you have different, you know, the quality of services.
What you do is at your customer care level, the approach should be the same. Okay, wow. It should be the same. You treat them just like you would treat the corporate, you treat the locals the same way at customer care level. Some corporates will want value for their money, so they will pay you more, but they will expect to have more modifications that suit their setups than would do to a local customer. For example, I have been approached by governments to do incubators for them, for their learning institutions in their agricultural setups, agricultural training institutes. For such, they do require that you feed their machines with extra gadgets. For example, I'm doing an incubator for 2,200 eggs for an institution that is monitored by different levels and the cadre of personnel. There is that particular person that who is charged charged with the duty of loading the eggs, manning the machine, cleaning the machine, and the like. Then there is a supervisor seated several miles away from that particular attendant. So you require to fit a CCTV camera to that particular corporate gadget for the corporate world. Okay. The local customer, the usual customers who are not doing large scale, who are doing the operations themselves, may not require those gadgets. So the finer treatment that you give to the corporate world is upon understanding the kind of supervisory levels that they have in their corporate world, unlike it happens with the other farmers.
So what I'm getting from it is the value for the money.
Yeah, give everybody value for their money. Yes, let that particular farmer who is using a solar panel, so he's not consuming a lot of, he's not undergoing or rather doing a lot of fee payment to power sources. If they're using solar panels, there is an extra charge for the provision of the solar panel. So will they get value for their money within their first hatch? No. So you explain to them that at the very end, at the long end, you are going to get more benefits than one who is using electric power. So
it means that when it comes to the world of entrepreneurship, some of the customers, it's not about the pricing, it's about the quality of the services that they get from a business.
Definitely. Sometimes we, like in our case, we are forced to modify our machines and make them fit within them extra gadgets. For example, we do UV light sterilization for some customers, but for others we leave them to wash and clean with the disinfectants.
And now let me ask, generally for every business, what can they do to make sure that they augment or they add value to the money that they get from their customers?
This comes from understanding your customer and the customer need. When a customer explains to you that, no, I need this hair done so that it can go for 2 extra weeks, you know what to do to that particular hair than you would do to a person who keeps changing her hair every 2 days. So the customer need informs the kind of innovation, the kind of input, extra input that you need to do. And every extra input comes with some costing, some pricing. For example, if you are in a salon setup, and you have different prices for the amount of time spent in a salon. If you want to do your hair in 1 hour, I'm going to add extra workers so that they can attend to your hair. So you're going to pay an extra 10 bob, an extra 20 bob for the shortening of the time that you spend in our salon. If you want to do your hair with the issue of costs, that you spend half a day in our salon, so be it. So let every input have an output that gives the customer value for his or her money. Yes.
And now let me ask, when it comes to customer segmentation, does it apply to every kind of business?
Well, like for a case it does, for pottery equipment it does, but I feel it does.
For every business?
Different customers will have different needs. For example, I need to buy a phone from a specific shop. The price, their phones could be different from the way it is priced in other shops, depending on the customer segment that the business owner wanted to meet. What did the customer need? What was his understanding or her understanding of the customer base? I don't know whether you've seen, and I've used the issue of phones. We have had some Chinese, some foreign firms that have come to this country to sell, specifically to sell phones to the low class and those who are in below the economic mark, you know, wale wako chini pale sana. So utapata wameleta sim kwa kijiji, they are selling the same phone at a very low price, or they extend the payment period. You pay a deposit of this much, but within 2 years, we want you to have exhausted that kind of payment. But if you go to people in different segments of class segments, you find somebody will not want to buy phones on higher purchase. So they want to buy a phone at whatever price that you've set, as long as they live with the phone and they know they do not owe you anything thereafter. So different segments of customers require different treatments. So you need to understand your segments. You need also to segment yourself. You do a business survey, and you know those customers in Joro, they want very quick services. Whenever they do a call, within 2 to 3 days, you must have delivered their produce. But kuna yule warongai, anakupatianga 1 month to prepare so that you give him the best. So you must understand your customer base and segment them as per their needs, and also how they respond to your business. Some customers will respond very well to your business. Others will have delays. Some will have so many complaints. You must understand them and segment them. Especially for our case, we do sell ornamental birds, for example. Some will tell you, do everything for us. Go to KWS, get clearance from KWS for us. Others will tell you, no, I only need the birds. I know how to handle the issue of licenses, the issue of permits. So you must understand your customers so that by the time you're serving them, by the time you're delivering goods to them, you meet their expectations. If you fail to meet their expectations, and remember, we've talked of the different levels. You may go to a customer who is a corporate customer. You rush things, you do things that they will realize or they will identify as messes. Yet, you are used to doing that to other customers. So it's always good to understand your customer and serve them as per their expectations.
And now let me ask on something that you've just mentioned. That is the timeline of the customers responding. For every business, ama biashara mgeni nyemeingia in the market, for how long does it take for the customers to start responding to it?
It depends on the kind of survey that you had done previously. If you really understood the customer need before setting up your business, the response time will be immediate. But if you bringing a service or a good so that you can test the business, you can test the way it will maybe you have a new product and you just want to check how it will move within a certain population, then the response time could be different. But if you had done your survey and you realize this village needs this kind of fertilizer that's a top dress, and within the month of May, and then you present your fertilizer towards the end of April, you can be sure of clearing your stock within no time. But if you stock foliar spray meant for top dressing, by the time farmers are planting, then you'll not have done enough survey, or maybe you are not interested in the response time, maybe because you do not want to reap your benefits almost immediately. But if you do your market survey very well, you shorten the response time, and you also ensure that you do not have expiries within your shop. You do not have, your goods move very fast, and you're not also beaten by innovations. Remember, to remain in business, you must be innovative.
Always.
So if others innovate before you do, you are likely to be edged out of the market, and you are left with a stock that you have nowhere to sell.
And talking about innovation, for how long then, so that you cannot be left behind, for how long are you supposed to be, innovate each and every time? For how long, as pan young?
It should be informed by, again, customer feedback, and again, you monitor the speed with which, or rather at which, you are selling your products. If last month I brought egg incubators for 64 eggs and they took 1 month to sell, then I have brought this one that is a little bit bigger, with a capacity of 176 eggs. I'm selling at a slower rate, but I'm reaping more benefits from selling a bigger machine and not availing the smaller machines. So you must understand your customer need. It is the one that informs you on the kind of innovation to do. And again, not just your customers. You also need to survey your competitors.
That's one thing they forget.
Yes,
right?
what is it that, I'm selling a 64 egg machine. He's also selling a 64 egg machine. He's selling at 13,500. I'm selling mine at 14,000. If I improve my price for them, will I get into a loss? How is my source of raw materials? What if I assemble my machines differently? Maybe use a different kind of material that is long lasting than they do. So I will still be selling my incubators at 14,000, but the customer feedback will be, hey, machine zake ziko long lasting than zile za 13,500. So you need to survey what your competitors are doing, understand what you need to do to your business so that you remain competitive.
Okay, you've mentioned something to do with pricing.
Yes.
And now let me ask, how do pricing influence the customer behavior? Let's say, for example, I have company A wanauza vitu 20,000, I have company B wanauza 50,000, but you find most people are going to the expensive one. Why?
They say cheap is expensive. And I think, even from my experience, that is exactly what we have experienced. You buy cheap raw materials, but you end up undergoing some after-sale customer service that's so expensive to the same machine. But you use quality materials that are more expensive, and you give a shorter warranty to the customer. You save on the customer after sale services. That's often it's so expensive, because for you to go and repair a machine, remember, you're not selling anything. It's an after sale, it's an extra expense from the profit that you already, so it's reducing your profits. So it's always good to survey what is informing in this kind of pricing. If I make a very good machine, sell to a customer, it serves him longer or serves her longer before calling for services, before calling for repairs. So it ends up satisfying him or more. And that's where now the word of referral, the word of mouth, the referral comes in. So your prices should always give value. The customer should always get value for his or her money. Because
many businesses, people wanasema, acha, because it's a new business, acha nieke price ya chini so that I can attract more customers.
Well,
does it work?
You can do it initially. If you want a product if you want to use to sell materials, or to sell your product at a cheaper price, so that customers can learn about your product. So you can decide to get a very low how do you call it, return on investment. You lower your return on investment initially, so that your product sells, it spreads within a certain population, so that you can get more referrals from the already sold products. That way you can reap some benefits, but not always. So you must first of all understand the other substitutes of your product that you are selling. If others are selling at a higher price, why should you lower your price? maybe you improve your product, make it more competitive. But in majority of the cases, it's always good to first of all introduce your product at a fair price. Then you can increase your prices later on.
Okay, so
And they explain why you're increasing the prices.
you explain to the customers?
You explain to them.
Why?
For example, when I'm introducing a 64 egg machine, and that's what I actually did, we used to import. We're importing our 64 egg machines. They were a little bit cheaper, but they were short lasting. So when we introduced more expensive assembly materials, we had to explain to the customers, oh, this one I sold to you at 12,000, but you've spent only 1 year, 2 years, and it's written off. I've surveyed that particular material. I've improved on A, B, and C, and D. Use this material, pay this much, then let's see how it behaves differently.
What about, because there are many people out there, business people, they don't explain. So probably customer anaenda kununua na ambia, oh, sijali wewe nunua hivyo, ni economy hata si tunauza hivyo. Is that okay?
Well, always make sure your customer understands why you have an extra price on a good or a service that you initially offered at a cheaper price. Let them understand. Maybe, for example, for our machines, there are some imports that will have import duty.
Yeah.
So if the import duty goes high, then you end up selling your machine more expensively. But make sure you let them understand. They are in the same country or in the same segment, in the same population that you are in. So they understand some of the changes, the economic changes that have affected everybody in the country.
Okay, you mentioned that is matters to do with after-sale services. How does it influence customer loyalty?
It does.
How?
Actually, that is the best kind of it gives you the best loyalty. When you follow up your customers, even when their machines are not damaged, do a call to them. Ask them, how is the machine faring? For how long have you used the machine? Is it serving you well? How was its performance in the previous month? What improvements do you need done in our other machines, our upcoming machines? Make sure you follow up your customers. It improves your rapport with the customers, and it increases the word of mouth referrals.
Also, does it play a role in building the emotional connection between your business and the customer?
Yes, it does.
How?
It does. For example, I've visited a number of customers to whom I sold ornamental birds. Peacocks, ostriches, emus, and the like. When they say you visit them, remember some of these birds, they are just like pets. They have some memory of their initial owner. So when you visit their farms and these birds run to you, you've talked about how it affects the emotional contact. Unasikia mwingine, si unaona bado inakutambua. And it's from that you'll find those referrals that I'm talking about. Huyu anakuuzia na anakuuzia very friendly pets. And trained pets, just like those who sell trained dogs. The level of training, the level of after sale service, the way they visit their customers to know how their dogs are behaving. Did our initial training affect the performance of that particular dog? Is it defensive? Is it responding to your calls, to your instructions? It always earns better marks to your business.
Wow. That's something that many businesses people should adapt, doing follow-ups. It sounds interesting.
It does. I've seen, even for your cases, the ladies and their beauty, I've seen people do some selfies with their initial salonists. If you want this hair done, enda kwa huyu, anamuonyesha enda kwa huyu. Because you followed up, you've maintained a contact with your customer. It sells. It does.
Apart from, we have that is 2 minutes. Apart from that is doing the follow-up, what are the retention strategies that any business can adapt?
Retention strategies for your customers?
Yes.
Always maintain the quality of your product. That will retain your customers. If you keep there are some people who keep on altering the kind of quality that they sell. Some do not again stick to their warranties. If I've sold a machine, that I'm supposed to service at no fee within 6 months, and then a customer calls you within a month or 2 months, and you are not able to fix the problem within the warrant period, then you're losing track. So if you want to retain those customers, stick to what you've set for your business. If I'm supposed to follow up the performance of the machine for 1 year, I should stick to that one. Yeah, exactly. If you shorten the period of time and unaambia customer warranty ilisha na haijaisha, then you are setting them off. If you want to retain those customers, stick to your quality. Let's imagine some milk vendor. You know, some milk vendors have this corrupt way of behaving, that they add water to their milk. You not retain me, nitaoja hiyo maziwa na nasikia hata haikuboil. Wengine tuko natumia ile miti ya kiberitu natubukiza ndani, then you wash the matchstick. If it doesn't light, unajua alikuwa ameongeza maji. So customers have a way of testing the quality of your produce.
They have a way in every business.
They do. Even the services, even those who give services, they will tell. Kama tuseme ni wale veterinary wanapeana AI services kwa mifugo. Ule anakuambia huyo huwa anadanganya ati hiyo ilikuwa zembu. Yeye alinipatia begu ya freshian. So stick to the quality, and the quality on the if you have some displays. Especially with the food products. Remember, unaingianga kwa supermarket unapata hii iko na vitamin C, but upon analysis unapata haina. Ingine imechorwa matunda na hakuna matunda iko pale. Stick to the quality of the product that you intended to sell.
Well, I love that. For viewers, I believe that you have learned a lot, and make sure that if that one thing in your learn, please implement it in your business now, so that you can get to retain your customers and get the referrals that you have been told. Thank you so much for availing yourself for the show. Because of time, in 1 second, please share your number. Those who are interested in getting the equipment watakutafuta.
Asante sana Bwana Bi Angela. Wale ambao wanatutafuta ama wale ambao wangependa vifaa vya egg incubation, ornamental birds, namba yangu ya simu ni 0723 604 618 0723 604 618. Pale kwa Facebook utatupata tunajiita $Den Enterprises. $Den Enterprises utatupata pale kwa Facebook, utaangalia bidhaa ambazo tunakuuzia, na vile vile wale ndege maridadi ambao tunawauza katika shamba letu ambalo liko Kiamunyi, pale tunajiita Shamir Farm. Asante.
Thank you so much for availing yourself for the show. I believe watakutafuta.
Shukran.
And for our viewers, let's put a pen there. But in the end, I believe that you have learned. Customers don't die. They don't just buy products. They also check on, they buy experiences, the relationships that you connect with them. So you're a day-to-day person aspiring to have that business. Make sure that you get to do a survey, get to understand what gap are you feeling in the market? What do your customers want? And in the end, at least you get to make profits, because in every business, at the end, you want to make the profit. Please make sure that you get to talk to me on our social media handles. That is on Facebook and YouTube at Mizpah TV Kenya. Hashtag that is Money Monday. Tell me, what is that one thing that you have learned so far so good, and you are going to implement it in your business? I'll be so glad to hear from you. My name is Angela Kabete. Till next time, may God bless you abundantly and have a productive week.